The Titans killed his relatives and destroyed his city, so Eren will join the army in order to avenge his loved ones and end these monsters. That's why I attacked the Titans today. This is the story of Eren along with his two friends Armin and Mikasa, who live in a world where Titans appeared out of nowhere and eat people. To survive, humans built walls nearly a century ago to protect themselves from monsters. We begin by introducing Armin, the son of merchants. Despite working with his parents, he aspires to be an inventor, although it's prohibited. There, he goes to look for his friends, and on the way he bumps into a rather strange man, but for now it doesn't matter much. What does matter is that he runs into Mikasa and they go to a hill to find the real protagonist, Eren, who was very calm, standing on an inactive bomb. While they talk, we discover that none of them are really happy, trapped within the walls, or at least living in the poorest sector. And that Eren's real dream is to get out and explore the world. At that moment, he kicks the junk and they realize that there was a woman painted in the sea. In this world, 3 people who have only known the sea from books set out to see it for the first time, as humans have never witnessed it before. Subsequently, a type of army tasked with safeguarding the world is shown. But Eren and his friends easily dodge them and plan to climb to the top of the wall to see if they can see the sea. There, Armin begins to regret the idea because outside are the Titans, but since they haven't been seen for a long time, they became a kind of legend. Eren disregards the risks and attempts to climb, but the guards spot them and strike them. Still, nothing happens because a captain named Suda quickly arrives, who seems to know them and orders his men to retreat. They stay there chatting and we find out that the army wants to do an exploration and is looking for people who can go outside the walls. At that moment, they propose to Eren to join, but a tremor begins as the Titans strike the wall. Because above a Titan appears that, in addition to seeming to have no skin, is much larger than any other. Our characters start to escape, but with the blows the wall breaks, and even though they try to stop it with cannons, none of that works. But still, this large Titan disappears but leaves a hole big enough for these monsters that look like giant humans to get through. There, the army tries to stop them with more cannons, but even though they shoot at them, the Titans revive over and over again. Then the massacre begins and the Titans start devouring everyone in the army. Meanwhile, our protagonists flee and Armin separates to look for his family. Meanwhile, Eren and Mikasa are stuck among a bunch of desperate people because apparently the Titans are already all over the city. And right there, they see how their friend's father is devoured. To all this, Mikasa sees a lady with her son and tells Eren that they should help her, so he grabs the lady, but the baby is left on the floor. So while Eren enters the building, the girl stays outside with the baby. Although in the end it's useless because a Titan arrives and you can't even imagine what happens. Right after that, Eren comes out desperate to see. Titans destroy the roof, killing everyone inside. The story then jumps 2 years later, with some officers explaining all the consequences that incident brought. The migration of people to other cities and loss of territory have led to food shortages. So they devised a plan that is based on covering the hole left by the colossal Titan and killing the remaining Titans inside. In this new team, there is a sergeant who devised a kind of equipment that was designed to kill the Titans called maneuvering equipment. We also see that Eren and Armin survived and both joined this exploration team. At their dinner with the rest of the military, they meet again with Captain Suda, who now seems to be an alcoholic. There we learn that this captain enlisted because his family died and he has no more reasons to stay alive. While Eren wants to avenge Mikasa, a girl named Sasha interrupts them. And we see that later Armin is explaining the mission plan to her, although she only cares about the food. We also find out that they have carried out this plan a couple of times before, but it never worked, so this would be their last chance. Right then, a different soldier begins harassing them. Though he boasts about not fearing Titans, Eren asks him a question that makes him look ridiculous. Do Titans have nipples? The other guy's lack of experience with Titans nearly sparks a fight, but just then Hank shows up to stop them and make it clear that she is very interested in dissecting Titans to study them. She reveals a crucial detail. When Titans perish, they instantly evaporate. Next, they are shown inside a truck. Hank explains that Titans can't see in the dark, which is why they sleep at night. So the ideal thing is for them to reach their destination before the sun comes up. And we also find out that it's very important for them to stay quiet, because the Titans are very sensitive to human voices. On the way, Eren talks to a comrade who tells him about a soldier who they consider a goddess, since it seems that she holds the record for killing more than 10 Titans in 6 months. The truck they are in stops at one point due to a suspected nearby presence, but it is revealed to be only cows. One of the soldiers begins to hear a child in the distance. But when they get closer to the babies crying, they realize that what they thought was a child turned out to be a Titan. The rest of the troop hears all of this and begins to panic, further endangering their lives. Despite the captain's efforts to keep the crew quiet and avoid waking the monsters, it's too late and a group of titans emerge. The worst part is that the truck leaves, abandoning most of the soldiers, so they must run to their destination while being chased by the titans, having no other choice. Amidst all this, we see two soldiers with maneuvering gear, who seem to be more experienced in the matter, although we only see their silhouette and we don't know who they are. Fortunately, their destination city was nearby, so they arrive swiftly. And in some flashbacks, they show us that the titans only die if a specific part of the nape is cut, otherwise they are capable of regenerating. That's why the equipment that Hans created is so important, as only the swords they use can cut them. In addition, it allows them to hook onto buildings and be at the necessary height to kill them. Captain Shikishima, a legendary figure, suddenly appears and effortlessly kills the titan that was pursuing them. Another one appears later, taken care of by Mikasa, a soldier who surprisingly survived. She ignores Eren for unknown reasons. Anyway, these two soldiers leave quickly while the others heal their wounds and rest. Meanwhile, we see Kubal, the elderly man leading this entire mission, going to a kind of basement where the explosives they need to use to complete their plan are located. With all that said, an annoyed Eren and his companions start fighting, but Mikasa intervenes and separates them. He asks her why she ignores him, but she doesn't care and they leave without saying anything to him. Ishikishima goes on to talk with him and then Eren asks her why his friend is like this now. He simply informs him that he was the one who taught her to kill titans, and provides a philosophical lesson comparing them to cattle. Instead of answering his questions, he leaves him with more doubts and suggests that he should leave if that's what he wants. Later, Armin tells Sasha he wants to be an inventor and create flying machines like in the past. But then Kubal appears and we find out that technology was the cause of a war and that's why it's now forbidden. Elsewhere, Suda and another person are treating the boy Eren fought, and he tells them that the girl who died and was with him that day was named Mikasa. Although this leaves the two boys confused who previously saw Eren yelling Mikasa at the soldier. And finally, after all this, Eren and Mikasa start to talk. And there we find out that in reality, she and the baby were indeed devoured, but they don't tell us how she survived. Just as Eren is about to talk to her, a man disturbingly interrupts and approaches her. A girl approaches Eren as he leaves, pulling him to a secluded spot. As they talk, he recalls seeing her with a girl who is revealed to be her daughter. But she has to be in the army because it's her only way to support her little one. In the end, it turns out she took him there to show him something more than her personality. Eren notices a titan observing them, but remains silent instead of alerting the girl. And she realizes too late because it ends up eating her. After that, we see how the whole city is filled with these titans and quickly all the soldiers are getting ready to fight. We return to Shikishima and Mikasa in action, being the only ones who seem to be able to kill them. In this battle, we also see how many soldiers are killed. But the most important thing is that a man takes the explosives that were in the truck. And this character looks a lot like the man that Armin bumped into at the beginning of the movie, but we still don't know who he is. At that moment, a girl gets in and pulls out the thief to drive the truck. Instead of returning it, she decides to commit suicide and take the explosives towards the titans to avenge her boyfriend, who died in previous scenes. But despite all of this, Eren doesn't want to be cattle anymore. So he brings out all his hidden potential and dares to approach the titans to kill them. Despite everything going well, a titan bites and tears off his leg. Well, bad luck. Meanwhile, the boy Eren often fights with, named Jan, is surrounded by titans and near death. But the point is that Armin comes up with a plan to save him and the whole team comes together for it. So he draws the attention of the titans so that the others can kill them. In the end, they succeed. The only problem is that when they are about to leave, they tell Armin that Eren has died and he is left shocked. This allows a titan to grab him. It's about to devour him where he fell, and despite his companion's attempts to help, nothing seems to hurt the creature. The one-legged protagonist drags himself, manages to half stand and pulls Armin out of the titan's mouth, but it ends up swallowing him and tearing off an arm. There we see how Eren arrives at the whole stomach, but the titan's acids are burning him. On the battlefield, the few remaining soldiers continue trying to survive, but we find out that the high-ranking captains left them as bait. Then, Mikasa arrives and proposes to leave an escape route, but her equipment runs out of fuel and falls right where the titan that killed Eren is. Although just when it's about to attack her, another titan comes out from inside, but this titan is very different because it's attacking other titans. Moreover, it appears to be more powerful and quicker than the rest. The important thing is that it's an intelligent titan, and although it tries to attack her, Mikasa realizes that this titan is Eren. Although we don't know how she knew that, it seems that she's not the only one who noticed. Because just as it evaporates, Captain Suda gives exact orders to get Eren out of the titan. The point is that they managed to get him out alive, and he even has his arm and leg regenerated. That was Attack on Titan. Don't forget to like, comment on what other movie summaries you want to see on the channel, subscribe, and activate the bell so you don't miss the upcoming videos.